Hi everyone, welcome back to the eye test, and we are going to be reviewing Everton 1, Man United 2. Welcome to the eye test. Omundi Juma here. It's 10 p.m. and yes, we are covering the Everton game, which was played Sunday night at the usual time, about 7 p.m. But we got the 3 points, and we're delighted about that. How are you, bath time with Vaughan?
I'm really good, bruv. I've had a very long day, but it's always an absolute treat to come in and talk to everyone about football, show you lot the work that we've done, and I think there are some changes tonight to the show, are there not, Amondo?
That's right, yeah. So we've sort of cut down the show. We're going to do a 45-minute segment for you guys live, and then tomorrow we will be releasing part 2 and the conclusion of the Everton versus Man United game, and that's going to be released probably about 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So make sure you check that out as well, and we'll give you more details later on in the show. First of all, I just want to talk about just a few basic things like sponsors. Now, as you know, we've got a sponsor. I'm going to read it out. It's GMS, and it's Global Mapping Surveys. And they are assist architects, property developers, and construction companies all over the country. They offer a wide range of services as setting out topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning. And if you check the link in the description for the website and contact details. Now that's over and done with. We can get down to nitty gritty. We won yesterday, and we're going to go into detail now. Really important thing, because there's a few changes that we've seen over the last week, last 2 games, especially with the rest defense. Something that we kind of endorse here, but it's kind of been altered, and I was really interested to see what your thoughts on this bath time. So, can we get started?
Yeah, I mean, you know that I absolutely love a good segment on the rest defence, and as always, I just want to point out we're not coaches, we're just players, got no badges, all that kind of stuff, and any comments or criticisms or arguments or whatever are more than invited. Like we love the interactivity of this show, but we're going to talk about the 3-2 rest defence now. Sorry, the yeah. So this here, that's the 3, and that's the 2. Okay. Normally we see a 2-3 rest defence, but in this game things changed. Now, um, with the rest defence, Amondo, I'll show you up here. This is like the thing that is crucial about all rest defences. Is you have a central area, which is here,
Yep.
and you have 3 people in the central area. Okay. You then have a half space, which are these
Yep.
places here, and you have 1 person in this area here. So even though it's a 2 or a 3 or a 3 or a 2, it's always actually a 1-3-1, and it's how the people are positioned that are different. So in this area here, in the central area, what you ideally want is you want these 2 literally just to be blocking any passes in these areas here. Right?
For sure.
Simple.
Yep.
Now the defense is where it gets quite fun, because if I go here, you can see that Delo is not part of the rest defense here. Like Delo is in the attacking 5, and what he's doing is he's occupying the wide area. Rashford's wide, half space, central. Okay. Now the thing that's good about Delo is right-footed. Okay. What foot is Shaw?
Left footed.
What foot is Martinez?
Beautifully, he's got a wand. It's a left foot.
I know, it's lovely. And Lindelof is obviously right-footed.
Yeah.
And we'll put Rashford as right-footed for now. So what happens, right, is that this back 3 can change, where Shaw can go up here. The players up here can all sort of move along. Martinez goes out. Lindelof comes central. And Delo comes in. And now you have a left foot and a right foot. So regardless of where people are, you have on one side, on the left half space, you have a left foot. and on the right half space you have a right foot. Now this is really important because it allows passing through the centre, and out wide at all times. So what you're expecting when you play the 3-2 rest defence is you're expecting a lot of balls to be going out wide, because these channels are open.
And because you've got 3 guys at the back, there's more width, and you can reach those areas, I suppose, as well. Yeah.
So what you would see is you see players going out wide like this, and then as the press comes in, it's impossible to sort of press all. It's impossible to press all of them and cover the centre. So what you will normally see is you'll see something like this that will allow the ball out here, and then it gets up to Rashford, and that's how we go. So we don't expect to see a lot of possession from the centre of the midfield.
Yes.
Right. And this is something that Liverpool used to do when they had, I believe it was Wijnaldum and Henderson.
Yeah.
And what you would see is you'd see Fabinho dropping in to make the 3, and then you would see Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson getting high.
Very good point. Yeah.
Yeah, and all you would really want from these two, from your pivot, is just a hard-working block. Yeah, exactly. You just want discipline and hard work. Now, there's something else about that. Yes.
Sorry, I just want to say, that's just had a eureka moment. That's a really good point about Liverpool, because they wanted some more creative midfielders, but they've made a sacrifice there because they're not playing so well as when they had the hard-working guys, And that's for finally I can explain it the way you just explained it just there, and how Trent can get up the field and not get exploited. That's a really good point you just made there with the 3 and 2 rest defense. Yeah, good shout.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Like, Thiago is one of my favourite players in the league. I know he's a dirty scouser, but his job in that rest defence is very interesting. But that's Liverpool. Now, what is even more interesting than Liverpool's failings is the rebirth of David De Gea. What a performance he put in, Omondi. Yeah. I mean,
I think it was a 99% pass rate, wasn't it? It reached his target. Almost.
Bruv, there'll be the cold death of the universe before that happens. But I think I know why De Gea played like that at the weekend, and it's to do with the 3-2 rest defence again, where, like, here, if you go man for man, right? If you're a bit crazy and you do something like this, and you go man for man, what you have to do in the 3-2 rest defence, and if you think about Liverpool, this is why they started to get so much success when they signed Alisson, is that you need to avoid this press. You need one more person, and you need the goalkeeper to be part of it. And De Gea, I imagine he's been terrified of this all week in training, but he knew he had to be involved. And if we were getting man-marked, he had to be looking for these balls through the lines to Rashford and Dalot. And to his enormous credit, he was finding them. Like and if you get picked up by, let's say this is Gay here, Casemiro would come in, and this happened a few times. In particular for something we're going to look at later. But this is one of the big changes, and a lot of you might be thinking, like, that bath time. What are you going on about this for? Like, why hasn't Ten Hag done this before? And Omondi, it's this man here that makes the difference.
Explain, because that's usually, who would that be? Varane or Maguire, maybe?
Varane. Yes. Now look, Varane, and I don't want to sort of trigger anyone in the comments or anything, Varane's an excellent defender, but he is essentially Chris Smalling deluxe as a player. Right? He's fast, he's strong, he's positionally disciplined, he's good aerially, and he's a good cover defender. What Varane is not good at is passing between the lines. we've seen, anyone who's been watching the eye test for a long time will remember that a common thing that we see from Varane is we see Varane driving at a block
Yeah.
to try and pull people over, and then we see movement like this where we overload here to Delo, and then you'll see like runs coming in from Martial, and we'll try and do a third man combination. Now with
Remember that.
Lindelof, and I have a clip here. It's not a particularly good clip, but it shows that Lindelof is able to make passes in between the lines. So this is very early on in the game, Omondi. If you can just talk us through it.
So Lindelof, there's a back two here. They're getting pressed. Martinez plays it to Lindelof. He's under pressure here, but he plays the ball between the lines.
Yep, and it's okay. It doesn't work, but this is so important, right? Because we've generated so much space in the midfield here, and when we see Varane play, what we normally see is we will get Anthony or Elanga on the ball, and then Martial will make his run, and we'll try and play a combination around here and then release Delo. By having Lindelof, it means that we can get the ball, we can not transition, but we can move between the lines quicker, and you can see that Everton are in a bit of problems here.
Sure.
Like, there's an overload here. Gray's not working hard enough because he wasn't expecting that ball in between the lines. So this is
where is Everton's midfield? There's no one in there really, is there? There's no sort of double block or anything.
That is fine. So at the start of the clip, this is absolutely fine. You can see that they've got a good block. You've got Molpe ball side. Everyone's picked up. You would be concerned about this, to be honest, but you can see that Iwobi, who I'm actually quite impressed with as a central midfielder, you can see his cover shadow is cutting this out, and here we're beginning to get a 2-on-1 though. Yeah. So you can see that the Everton block is basically here because it's level with the ball and it's protecting these areas. And what we're going to do is we're going to manipulate it. It comes across. This is all fine.
Martial's still stuck on the pinning on the defender. He hasn't created that space yet.
Well, it's Delo that's created the space, because Delo, you'd expect someone here, right? Yeah. So Everton, I think Gray is actually more concerned about Anthony. He'll be scanning, and you'll expect Anthony to come in here to take Gray and Mikhailichenko or whatever he's called with it.
That's with Varane playing, when Varane
and then Delo's
drives forward and pops it off to the short pass to Delo. Usually.
Perfect. Yeah, and then you see it there. But so now they're positioned, but Martial knows Lindelof. And he knows that, like, Lindelof is an excellent passer. I know a lot of people call him Lindesoft. They don't think he's very good. Like, all these sort of things. But rather like Maguire, Lindelof gives you progressive passing between the lines and switch balls. And it's important. And you can begin to see, right, we're developing an overload here.
Big time.
And so if this works out, right, if this works out and we get it through, look at this. This is absolutely great. Yeah. We've got this overload here and this overload developing here, and a bit more care from Martial with his pass. Like, this is a third man combination right here, Omondi. That should be dropped to Anthony, and then Delo should be on the blind side getting in, and then look, you've got Rashford and you've got Bruno coming in. And this or
he's in the half space there, like De Bruyne did against us. He could have that training ground move, which you tend to do, whipped the ball in to the overload on the back post with Coleman. Maybe these are other options as well.
Oh, of course. But what we're saying is that this gives us a lot of options, and it comes essentially from having a progressive passer on the right side of the defence. So I know everyone's very happy with Varane. I'm extremely happy with Varane. There's more stuff you can get from your players. Like, for me, Martinez, everyone loves his aggression. I love his passing more than anything. Crisp,
Perfect passing,
incisive. It's fantastic. So this could be right. Let me get out of this. This could be this this could be because Varane's unavailable. Um, and you might say, Omondi, why can't Maguire play this? You know, why can't we just have Maguire in for Lindelof if he's fit? The problem is that the other part of the rest defence is the counter press. So in the counter press, you have Casemiro and Eriksen going in to try and win the ball. Like everyone's in here. But what you have here is something called counter marking, right? Where the back three get on their man and they follow them. So if this guy goes out here, Shaw goes here. If this guy runs in, Martinez follows him, and Lindelof goes. And I'm not getting into the is Maguire too slow debate, because I personally think his lack of pace is completely over exaggerated. Yeah. But this limits Maguire's best ability, which is Maguire is getting forward and intercepting and heading the ball. Maguire is far better like attacking the ball than he is like covering a man. Yeah, like so this isn't Maguire hate. I actually quite like Maguire as a player, and everyone knows that Omondi would marry him if he was given the chance. But yeah, so this is essentially the different rest defense that we used and how it all works. And essentially the sort of like the takeaways from it is it allows better progressive passing into these areas whilst protecting you in the centre, and it also means that the goalkeeper has to be involved more, and it means that against a three, we'll go man to man. Like
you know what, I think you've explained perfectly well why De Gea had good distribution. That makes a lot of sense to me, because he would have to be an option if he had to play at home. Sometimes he'd have to be on the edge of his area, which he was. For a couple of examples there. So yeah, that's a really good example there about the 3 and the 2 rest defense.
So should we do some comments?
Let's quickly go through a quick few comments here. So obviously you want to say hi to everyone who's in the house. Have I missed you? I'm sorry. So Box is here, MUFC, Mark Edmund as well, Emma, Super Nick, how you doing, girl? And Casemiro let's talk, says Mark Edmund. We will come on to that as well. Just MUFC is here as well. I want to say hi to Niall. How you doing? I want to say hi to Pat as well. He said respect to us too for the enormous effort goes into this show. Rich Sports, how you doing? Go and check out his channel. Part of the big family. How you doing, Rich? HG Gamer saying, so you're saying Varane makes us do 3 to 4 passes while Lindelof does it in 1 pass? Effectively, yes. Big G saying, isn't there an argument that Bruno should be picking up the space or not Martial? Question mark. Don't forget to like and subscribe, of course. So you want passers picking up the ball in space as Big G. And that's your lot. Do you want to touch on any of them?
Yeah, first of all, obviously, happy birthday, Box, but also a real happy birthday to Vincent Bullock, who it was his birthday yesterday, and a great friend of ours on the agenda and also at Rich Sports. So happy birthday, Vincent. Get loads of cake and things in chat. So when in some of the highlighted comments there, Big G, who is that Gavin Ward?
Yeah, it is Gavin. Yeah, he's
right,
changed
Gavin.
it.
I know you changed your name, but I'm not calling any man Big G.
Like unless you're in prison.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you're not.
De Gea's out of his prison now. He's allowed to go and do stuff. But yeah, you see, so is there an argument that Bruno should be picking up that space or not Martial? The reason why I think that Martial is picking up that space is to do with dragging the centre backs out, because Martial is meant to pin 2 centre backs, and if he brings them forward, regardless of how disciplined and experienced they are, when they see that striker move, they're going with him. And that allows space in for Bruno or whoever's in the half space to get in. And this is why we want forwards that are able to receive on the half turn, to play combinations, because your focal striker, if you think of sort of Firmino, which is the type of player we're playing, they don't really score a lot of goals. What they do is they open up spaces for your wide players or your inverted players to get in and score. So I think it's a good comment, and I'm not saying that is 100% the answer, but in my experience, I think that that's the answer. And then Is there anything else there? Right. Whilst I set up the next couple of clips on Monday, I should probably tell all our guests about the new format that we're running tonight, in case anyone missed it.
All right, so guys, don't forget, we're going for about 45 minutes today on this show, live show, and then tomorrow afternoon, probably about 1 o'clock, we're going to release the pre-recorded one, which we will do straight after this show and drop it tomorrow. So you guys can check that out while you're munching your lunch at work. So yeah, check it out, guys.
Yeah, so I hope that this new format works. We're mainly going to be covering the first half today, and then we're going to do the second half as a pre-record. But please get your comments in for the pre-record and stuff, because I will actually look at them for once and respond and things.
Just quickly, because we are going into the first half as well. Don't forget this one. Martin was saying, Casemiro, let's talk. He got man in the match yesterday on the eye test. Yeah, on the eye test, he didn't get man of the match from us too, but let's go into this. Yeah, so let's talk. So we know about the 3-2 rest defence, and it's much easier to get the ball out, and we see why De Gea was able to get involved in the play. Can we give examples of now how the goal was coming? Because obviously they scored first.
Okay.
It wasn't looking good, so let's go.
This is the first 40 seconds of the football match, Omondi. Would you like to talk us through this, please?
You know, I'd love to. All right. So Pickford's played the ball out to Tarkowski. He's played it wide to Coleman. He's played it back now. He's managed to get the ball back, but it's been turned over. But Bruno's got it. It's given to Onana, and they're breaking here. Man United now on the back foot. It's 3 on almost 4. We're outnumbered. Back post almost. Mopai was in. So a bit dangerous there. So something's gone wrong where we've sort of been a bit outnumbered there. It was almost 4 against 3.
Yeah.
Bello and Gray. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go into this because there's a few issues there.
This isn't fun, is it? So no. We'll look at it from the start, and things are. I'm not buying anything. Thank you very much. Things are fine at the start. We've got a block in the midfield. We've got Martinez and Lindelof on the central striker, Shaw and Gordon, Delot here. And looking at this, Martial has got to make the choice of he's basically got to block the ball to Iwobi, and then we're on for a press. Okay?
Yep.
But he's a little bit like, we know Martial was actually injured. And he's just not in the condition to do it. But we're in an okay position.
He's lost his acceleration.
Yeah. What we want to be extremely careful about here, Omondi, is we want to be careful of these two pivots going out wide, because there's a pass in there. There's maybe a pass in there. So what we really want to be seeing here is we just want to see the centre protected. All right.
Yep.
Basic stuff.
Ooh.
We've got a problem here, haven't we, Omondi?
There's a huge gap between Eriksen and Casemiro already. What you could drive? What is it? A cruise ship through there, as you say.
Well, you could drive all of them through there. It's like this is the Panama Canal, basically. Yeah. They've opened up here, and also this I don't like over here. There's an overload forming. On there's an overload coming. Over here. So what we would really want is, we don't want Bruno. Rashford and Bruno are one block, and they've been beaten, and that's a block of we've been beaten. This is horrible. This is back to the days of Ragnick's 2-2-2, which was just so easy to go through. So this concerns me. And then, all right, this bit better, but this. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is not good. You cannot have one man holding the midfield by himself and expect success.
Not even if he's the world's best centre DM.
I don't care who that is. You can't do it.
Yeah.
And we get combination play, and Shaw has got to get in there, or Eriksen has got to get in there. Yeah. Someone's got to be in this area. Delot is in the right position. Casemiro's in the right position. Martinez and Lindelof are, but these two have got to fill in here. And
This is the first 40 seconds already.
first 40 seconds, and this is why they've got to fill in.
Yeah.
Because the ball gets pinched, and a good team, like a good team, probably lays it off to Iwobi or whoever, and they're through. And this is seriously dangerous because Demarshall Gray beats Lindelof in a 1v1. There's nothing that Lindelof can do about this. So what we need is a strong counter press, and it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. They forced out wide. This is a terrible situation because Molpe's free at the back post. All right. So worries. First 40 seconds, but we've got worries here, and then a little bit later, like maybe 5 minutes later, we get this. So if you'd like to talk us, I'll pause.
Casemiro, okay, is sort of single pivot already. You can notice that he's picked up the ball, popped it back maybe to Martinez. Martinez head up, Lindelof head up, looking for that probing pass. No, nothing's on. Probe again, play it wide to Rashford. Rashford cuts inside a little bit, head up into Shaw, who's in the half space, gives the ball away. And now Gordon's got it wide. But Martinez with a great challenge there. Plays it into Bruno's in a good position. There's line of four Man United players there. Okay. Again.
All right. There's a lot to go through here, Omondi. First of all, the position of the fullbacks. Anyone who's been watching the eye test should know that I hate fullbacks. They're my mortal enemy because I play in the centre of midfield, and I never want my fullbacks ahead of me. So I'm quite happy with this. The reason I don't want my fullbacks ahead of me is that pass is a lot easier than that pass. Like I can pop that one off first time, but here there's got to be more cover in the centre of the park. So if Eriksen gets this far forward and this is the ball side, I would expect Delo to be moving into this space so that we get the 3 and the 2, which we need. What we have here is a 4 and a 1, and that's not good enough. You'll get punished against a good team like this. So here, someone's got to be here.
Yep, agreed.
Someone's got to be here. You can see that there's no passes on here for Lindelof. So Lindelof is going to go back, and Delo and Anthony are going to stay wide. So Shaw has got to get in here, or Eriksen has got to get in here. So once again, we're seeing a bit of a problem between Eriksen and Shaw, like in their positioning. And goes over. Shaw sort of gets in, but Eriksen's not there. There's not cover here, Omondi. We lose the ball, we're in problems. Big time. This is shocking. This is absolutely shocking for Manchester United. We've got a triangle, which looks good, and we've got an overload that looks good. So what you'd expect to see here is you'd expect to see Bruno coming in to start making start setting up third man run contributions. But because Molpai is here, this triangle doesn't exist anymore because Rashford can't play that ball, and maybe that's the ball to play, is to knock it back and reset. But this here and this here is a trap.
Yeah.
This is a trap, and we're in severe problems here. Shaw gets in, he tries to play a 1-2, it's intercepted. A good team will score a goal here.
Yep.
Big
time. I was just about to say that. That's great. Yeah. We're wide open.
This is absolutely shocking.
This is early in the game, isn't it?
This is still at 0-0.
Another example.
And I mean, look, at this point, Martinez is a hero. He makes the tackle because you can't have this in professional football. You can't have two men in between the lines with them in possession and Lindelof on the ball. There's no counter press structure. It's very, very easy. Like even a ball from Gordon there to Coleman, and then he can try that switch, or a layoff here, Molpe down there. This is very similar to how we scored against Arsenal. when Ericsson came through and then Rashford came through on the side. Like, we're extremely lucky not to have conceded here. And then even here, we're still in a bad shape. Like, I know we've got the 4 and the 5, but Casemiro
grades
needs to be here. Lindelof needs to be here. Martinez, okay, he's made the tackle, that's fine. But all these players need to be legging it into this position because we've still got Gray and Onana, and there's not a lot on here, to be honest. Maybe that's the ball. And get Anthony in. But we know Bruno's not very good for like selection of things. So already we should be extremely worried about this. And then you give me a second. And then this is the goal. You've all seen it. But Omundi, if you wanna talk me through this, please.
Anthony's got the ball here. Oh, sorry, Casemiro plays Anthony short, plays it back to Casemiro, gets pinched. Gray breaks, plays it to Iwobi, who curves it around Shaw, and they score.
Yeah, no blame on De Gea. I've tried, but first of all, this isn't good enough because when we talk about the rest defence, lads, we have no one. We got Martinez. We got 1, 2, and 2 in our areas. The central area. This is ridiculous. I don't care. I don't care. This is ridiculous to have that much of a gap here. It gets played through to Mikhailichenko. Ericsson has to come over here. Shaw has to come over, and you'd expect movements from the players here, so we can recover from this. But it's too open.
Quickly, what are Casemiro's options here? If Ericsson drops in that space, do you think he could have been the option? You're saying Ericsson could have dropped off?
Ericsson has to move in there because it's another pass. Because Casemiro, to be honest, he gets the ball and he's a Brazilian. I don't know what he's doing, but he tries to play it through to Anthony, right? What you want to do is you want to sort of keeping your arse next to Onana. You want to turn it in here, and if Ericsson's here, we've got a lovely pass, and then we can go. Yeah. It's not too bad a situation, but Ericsson's got to be there. And to be honest, I would like Bruno here.
I agree.
Like, you just need more numbers here. Like, sometimes just having numbers in the middle of the pitch is enough. But he plays this ball to Anthony, and they're sunshine boys. They're Brazilians. But Brexit means Brexit, and you've got to send the ball that way. You can't, like, Anthony dropping this in here to a guy who has got 2 men on him and a third coming in is never going to go well. And Casemiro makes it even harder for himself when he takes a terrible touch and he thinks that he can outstrength Onana. And Onana beat Casemiro up for the entire game. Like,
just quickly, I want to ask you something. You're a midfielder, Bathtime. So don't you demand the ball? Is it a case that I know good players demand the ball, and someone would say, "Oh, you had someone on you. That's why I didn't pass it to you." But the guy would say, "No, it doesn't matter. Pass it to me same way. I know what I'm doing." Is that a case of Casemiro that he's that good a player? Maybe that he says, even if I've got a man on me or a tight, just play it to my feet.
Not here. Not like. I agree in principle. I've played a lot of futsal. I can control a football. I've got a massive arse. It's enormous. I'm perfectly happy receiving the ball under pressure. Yeah. But there's 2 types of pressure. There's qualitative pressure, which is where, like, let's be honest. If this is me here, if this is the bathtub here, and I'm against Onana, even though it's a 1v1, it's not really, because the man's 6 foot. He's like McTominay. He's 6'5" or something. Yeah. He's incredibly strong. It's a qualitative overload. So I'm not going to get the ball. But if instead of Onana, this is Derek from the Butchers that I'm playing against, we're equal numbers. But when I've already scanned my space, and I know that there's no one there to play that pass to.
Yeah.
There's no easy ball to play. So if I get the ball here, I'm going down. Right, so I'll take it and I'll knock it forwards and then I'll jump on it and hold it. And I know all you park footballers hate that. All you armchair fans hate that when you see a player doing it. But it's the only real option you've got here. And then I'd have a word with Anthony to wise up and to look around the pitch and know that he's got to turn. He's just got to turn that way. And then look, easy balls. Easy balls. But Casemiro makes. We've all seen it. It's a monumental error. It's a man who doesn't respect the opposition here. He thinks he can just outstrength him.
Just to add, I mean, we've been bullied a few times. Ericsson against Brentford as well, when balls played to him. So Premiership is a physical league still. You have to be on your game and be sharp. Is it a case that maybe Casemiro will learn from this and realise he has to be, people will be sort of on his back? Not enough time in Spain, as they say.
Casemiro has to instantly learn from this because every midfielder in the league, you know what footballers are like. Sometimes they don't even care about the result. They just want to win their 1v1 battle. And every midfielder in the league will have looked at Casemiro and thought, he's slow, he doesn't turn well, and he's got a ricket in him. A lot of misplaced passes from Casemiro. Everyone's going to be on him. He doesn't have Modric, he doesn't have Cruz. He's got Bruno and Ericsson now, who are good players, but they're not at that level. Everyone's going to be looking at Casemiro, and I have to say, Omundi, I'm extremely worried about the Newcastle midfield. Yeah, Joe Linton, Bruno Guimaraes.
He's a unit, isn't he, Joe Linton?
Yeah, I think we might have. When the game starts, I'll be extremely confident. But I'm nervous about Newcastle at the moment.
So that's the first goal that we conceded. As we said, we could see that coming right there. So, and we were quite lucky with our goal, wouldn't you say?
I would, but I want to show you Casemiro's response first.
Yeah.
And I'd like to know in the comments what people think Casemiro is up to, because once again, I believe the score here is 1-1, right? Once again, this isn't good enough.
So much distance between the two players.
It's just
something we haven't seen much of it.
No, we haven't seen it. And to be perfectly honest, I think that Ten Hag would have wanted to have taken Casemiro off after about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You can't do that, obviously. It's outrageous to do that to a player. But he's so badly out of position. Even Fred and McTominay would be here, just holding hands, like the love story they are. But talk us through this.
So Pickford's got the ball. He's come to the edge of his area, played a long ball, as Everton do, back to Lindelof, who's played it to De Gea, who's played it into midfield via Dalot, who's popped it across the line through to Casemiro, who's ahead of him. Rashford's got it wide now. He's looking. There's an overlap there by Luke Shaw. Rashford's played a long pass, and it looks like Casemiro's made that run in between the two centre backs.
Yeah,
Casemiro's
that's
playing like number 10 almost here.
This is. I know everyone probably rates this. I think that this is outrageously bad play from a central midfielder.
Does everyone remember that header where he just drove into the box?
So here on Monday, this is pretty good actually against the free kick. We've got a block here, 3 men here. Rashford is covering his fullback. Maybe he should be on the winger, whatever. But this is all absolutely fine. No issues with this. Lindelof does well, gets back to De Gea. De Gea does. Look at that from De Gea. Between the lines to Dalot. Now this is where I begin to get annoyed. What are you doing? I know that everyone probably loves this.
What do you say? Don't break the block.
Don't break the block. And look, he's playing between the lines.
Yeah.
Now I know that he's joining an attacking unit of 5. So there's 4 here. He's going to become the 5th attacker. That's absolutely fine. But I really don't like this because what you're going to have to do here, right, is you're going to have to send Shaw and Dalot out to provide the pass to Ericsson. And Eriksen can't. There's not a lot that Eriksen can do here except get that ball between. And if Onana and Gay are just slightly closer, this is a fine block. They're slightly closer. We're in again. We're wide open, absolutely wide open. So Casemiro gets the ball, and then fine, good pass out. But look at your no. Sorry, no. You got a 3 here with players off. So look, the half space in the rest defence isn't covered in these areas here. We got 3 central players, but there needs to be one here or one here. That someone needs to be back, and our central midfielder is piling through here. Like now, you might all love this. I hate this.
He's box to box. He's a box to box player.
They have got. I know they have got a great block here. They're much more likely to win this ball than we are, right? If a good team who win this ball, we are in a world of problems again. This is United too open. Now I know time is getting away from us, so I think I'll just show the 2 United goals and then we'll finish up. But are there any comments?
Yeah, let's quickly just touch on these comments. So I want to say hi to Huddersfield Town fan FC's great graphics and attention to detail tactically. Thank you very much. Mark Edmonds saying Anthony should never pass to Casemiro. He got sold down the drain, so Anthony's fault. Anthony was much as fault, to be fair. Fancy passing the Casemiro with the ball with the man on him. That's suicide, he reckons. Mark Edmonds saying, I want McTominay and Casemiro to play against Newcastle because he said they're very strong. I want to say hi to Maguire. Cormac Maguire said, very good point, Mark. The pass wasn't on. Again, I want to say hi to Animal. How you doing, man? I said, bro, you can't play the game with 0 risk. We ended up with a free header. So that's referring to the header there, the driving run.
Just to address that, you're right. We can't play the game with 0 risk. But these kind of like decisions from players and the manager are why we have been 4-0 down twice at half time. You have to have cover in the midfield. I don't care.
And Mark Edmonds saying to win games, you need to take calculated risks. Casemiro did that.
Same point.
Big G saying creating the safe is okay. He should have stopped after the first pass. So there you go. There's a lot of balance there in the comments as well about that. Mm-hmm. Let's go to the goal now.
Let's go to the goal. So this is going to be United. If I can actually work a computer, this is going to be United equaliser.
Just waiting for you to pop it up.
Yeah, it should. You should have my screen shared. All right, United's equaliser. If you could talk us through this, Mr. Juma.
Okay, so Shaw's got the ball here. Casemiro again. Dalot's come into midfield a little bit. Casemiro's going ahead of the play into that sort of, and they've given the ball away there. So Iwobi's got it to Gay, who gives the ball away again. And Martial's in and plays in Anthony, and then you know the rest. He scored. So, yeah, we have to go back a bit to see what really happened there. So Martinez got the ball. Lindelof pops it into Dalot, who's into centre midfield, who decided to come in and create that block. We've given the ball away. Everton have also given the ball away here. Bruno pinched it. Martial, again, who likes to provide these assists from deep. And he's played in Anthony. So that's our goal. It's 1-1. We got back in the game.
This is a terrible goal, Omondi. Right,
Agreed.
Everton will be like livid about themselves. So when we stop it here, this is okay, right? Because we've got the 3-man, and we want a sort of rest defence. We want a numerical overload in the middle of the pitch. So Dalot is going to wander in here, and this is very good play by Dalot at this point. He gets in, and you can see by wandering in, he's got an angle. But when we talk about where we want our when I talk about where we want our fullbacks, these passes here are not on for Dalot, and you would expect a player of Casemiro's knowledge, the second that this ball gets played in, to peel back to provide the option, and then maybe you would get movements from Eriksen and Bruno, whatever. But what actually happens is that as the ball gets played in Casemiro, he has this horrible habit of getting in between the lines, and I hate it. I hate it. It's not good enough. Now,
because he can't be reached from there, really, can he?
no,
And he's wrong side of the play if we give the ball away.
it's almost hiding to me when players do this, when they run between the lines, because what he should be doing is he should be here attracting Iwobi and Gay to him, and then you have Ericsson just like you've got a triangle here. Absolutely fine, but Casemiro's out of position here. No, it doesn't look like it. This is horrible positioning from Casemiro. And then it's poor from Delo. It's poor from Delo. We get pressed. It goes to
I
Anana.
stop right there. Again, they're trying to pass to Casemiro. Is it they respect? They think he can take the ball in any sort of situation. But anyway, it didn't work out again, as Antti found out earlier.
And then, like, look, they play a triangle, and it's just this is how we create a chance. It's a bad touch from Bruno, but the system creates chances, and we've actually got into a good shape here. The only thing that you would probably want is maybe Anthony or Rashford tucked in a little bit more, and then you're going to see the rest attack, which is the out to in run from Rashford and what's his name, Anthony. And Martial, he's just got a bit of time because the centre backs back off into this space, and then look, it's a ball through. Anthony does okay. I'd like a much more clinical finish, as Pickford could have saved it, but it's fine. It's fine. It's like I'll take that all day of the week. But what I will not take is this nonsense here. Like, gentlemen, this is elite level football. You don't, when the ball is going through there, you don't make that run.
Yeah.
You don't make that run. You make that run in there to provide the cover, and then Ericsson makes that run, and you would expect Anthony in, Bruno out, Martial coming in, Rashford in behind. These are the rotations that you would expect. Like, Casemiro doing this is shocking. It is awful. And teams will have noticed his ability to get to sort of mess about in the lines. And I want to show you something else, Omundi, which is the our final goal. Which, do you see what a technical whiz I am? It's like Minority Report.
You're getting good at this.
Yeah, I'm getting good at highlighting things. So talk us through this quickly.
So this is the Ronaldo goal. What's going to say? Kick from Pickford. Lovely one there by Lindelof. Dalot's deep. Plays it to Ericsson, plays it back to Delo, plays a third ball to Casemiro, plays it where he's facing, and De Gea plays that wide to Shaw, who picks out Rashford wide. Casemiro sort of gives the ball away. Damn it. He's having a bad game, but suddenly he managed to get it back, plays a lovely through pass to his ex-teammate, and now teammate again, Ronaldo, who goes on to score with his left foot.
Happy days. Okay, so this is much better, but this is a big issue.
Yeah.
Three men on Casemiro and no real options. Like, maybe you could get Ericsson coming through here, but Casemiro does exactly the right thing here and just plays a sensible ball back, and we can reset, and the ball gets played out wide, and from here, what you would expect is with Anthony here and Delo coming through, you would expect that we're looking to get an overload in this area. All right? All the players have scanned this. They should know this. So what you would want is you would want Ericsson to be moving into this position here, and Delo and Bruno to try and take Iwobi and Gordon away. And the reason is that when you switch the ball, you don't switch the ball from flank to flank. You transition from the centre of the pitch. So the plan here is that we want an overload here. We want Ericsson in space here. And then we've got Rashford and Ronaldo coming in at the back post. This is what a good football team will be trying to do. We've done really well here. We've got Ericsson in the space. We've got Anthony running in there, so you'd expect that the overload is going to happen here. We know that Ericsson can play that ball, and we've also got Bruno coming in between the lines. Everything looks good. But Casemiro, he plays a terrible touch, and we're in trouble. We're in trouble because Dallow's gone on the blind side. Movements in here, and praise the Lord, it's Iwobi just being stupid. He's stupid here. And then this is great from Casemiro. This is we all know what happens, but the point of all of this and the point of the first half is, despite the possession figures, despite the fact that we were leading at half time and it was seemingly bad luck, we were absolutely dreadful in the first half. We were too open, and this is why we're getting beat 4-0 right at half time. This is woeful stuff. So do some comments, and then that'll be the end of the first half, I think.
So, fortunate goal, to be honest, won't happen against better teams, says Big G. That's Gavin. Animal saying, Bathtime, you're a very smart man. I absolutely hate playing for you as a manager because you'd probably get caught out. You need to get on with it. Big G saying maybe he's thinking that if Ericsson drops deep, then he can advance. Asking the question. Animal saying, you see, I'd hate playing for you. Again, Martin was saying the trouble we have had is that no one wants to take risks. No one wants to take responsibility. Casemiro is a leader. He does that. Casemiro gets into half space to progress the play.
Can I stop you there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mark, I completely disagree with you, because the most overrated player in the history of sport for me is Steven Gerrard. And no one ever really won anything with Steven Gerrard, a couple of cups. But it was because this is not what a leader is. A leader doesn't put pressure on his team for him to look good. And I don't think that this is how Casemiro normally plays football. I think that Casemiro is just amazed that he's got Scott McTominay breathing down his neck. 5 times Champions League winner. What is this big lanky twat doing, like getting his place ahead of him? And then he makes a disastrous error. And Casemiro, when you see the second half tomorrow at 1 p.m, you will see that there were big changes made in the second half, and Casemiro stopped this nonsense. So
final comment here.
Yeah.
Cormac saying credit to Ronaldo. That was an excellent finish. It certainly was. So guys, we're going to wind it down now. And don't forget, if you want to know about the second half and how we change and fix these problems that we've highlighted here in the first half, because then you can see the space. There's so many gaps. Someone mentioned Elon Musk about space, a joke or whatever. But yeah, that's what halftime is actually highlighting here. There was a lot of space created. Casemiro maybe wasn't performing that well, even though he had an assist and thing. But there's a lot of issues there. So if you want to find out how to fix that problem and what the manager did in the second half, make sure you tune in for the second edition of the eye test, which will be put out about 1 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to go and put that out right now. Unfortunately, you won't be able to join us, but make sure you join us tomorrow. Please do. Any final words? A couple more comments here quickly. Cormac saying credit to Ronaldo, excellent finish. We've just done that. Mark Edmonds saying this isn't Casemiro's normal game for sure. I agree, Gerrard is overrated. Emma saying good thing we can change from half to half than instead of just game to game. Yeah, that's what the manager's for. Brilliant comment there, Emma. Any last words about and what to expect in the second segment?
We're going to do more structure. We're going to show you like some combination plays. It's really, really good, the second half. I'm going to talk about how I was terrified in the last 10 minutes, and Amondi's going to tell me why I shouldn't be, apparently.
No worries.
But anyone who comments tomorrow will be looking in the comments. This is just a trial to try and get more of you like being able to sort of enjoy the content. And I'm delighted you chose to spend your evening with us. So, vaya con Dios. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me. Later.